just...
Hey everyone, I'm NornQueenAlexis, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm joined once again by Sterling.
Hello!
We are filming in Games U here in Gilbert, Arizona, so thus the masks and everything. And we're going to be talking about the Drukhari Codex. Or the Drukhari Codex.
Yeah, they are looking much better, so yes, the Drukhari Codex.
Yeah, I'm still not a fan of the artwork on the front, but it's growing on me. It's the same artist that did the Sister of Battle.
They're very sickly green in it.
Yeah, they don't look like sadistic as much as just kind of sick.
They just, yeah.
Yeah.
You seem at peace.
So we got a chance to look through this codex and everything. We got a chance to go through all of the stuff here, and we got a bunch of stuff in front of us. So you take this, and let's actually talk about this codex. What the hell?
Fine. See, I just did a real space raid.
I can believe that. I can believe that 100%.
Okay. Contents. All right, so let's just flip right to... Oh, look at that. I pulled it off in one go.
That's actually really cool.
Rules.
The rules.
The rules. Oh, focus. All right. So, the big thing that is being updated in how Drukhari work is their detachments. You can now kind of mix and match through the real space raid mechanic.
But I just want to spam this.
Okay, cool. Spam that, but you can put different things in it now. You can put warriors in it. You can put Trueborn in it because they're back.
Yeah, Trueborn are actually back, and they look incredible.
Yeah, they look real good. Like witches, homunculi covens, and like you can do it all.
Also, your Archon can finally affect everybody if he's a Master Archon.
Yes, and he's part of the real space raid, which is what you do. There is one downside to it, and this is for mostly the Inari players out there. The rule Weakling Kin says that if you are playing a Drukhari army, you don't get the benefits for your raiding force if you take Inari because they are Weakling Kin.
I do like that they put that in there because it's more like it's a joke at them being undead, and it's a joke at them being weaker than the Drukhari, which is, it kind of boils back into what the Drukhari actually are, just sadomasochistic elves.
Yeah, I think it points to we may get a Inari update coming soon, because they always kind of suffered, well, not suffered, they've always been really strong because they just get to take from everyone else.
Yep, and then take the best from everybody.
Yeah, so maybe now we'll start seeing more, like, varied unit choices or something in the future. So, big things about how this whole, like, raid detachment is set up. If you are taking stuff, they either have to be, you have to include an Archon, and he must be your Warlord. He must be in a patrol detachment.
Archon.
You have to take one Succubus.
One heckin' Succubus.
And one Homunculus.
And one heckin' Homunculus.
And then at least one unit of Warriors, Witches, and Racks.
Yep.
After that, go crazy. There's a new rule called Blades for Hire. If you are a Blade for Hire unit, it means you don't negate any bonuses for faction alignments when you're in a Drukhari list.
You'll see this with, like, I think the Beastmaster, the
Incubi have it,
and the
Mandrakes have it.
Mandrakes. Because Mandrakes have always been, like, one of my favorite units for the Drukhari, because they're half demon elves that live on the outskirts of Komorra. And they're just really cool because they freeze your soul.
Scourges also have it.
Wait, Scourges have it too?
Yeah, Scourges have it. Hellions count as witch cults, so they don't get it. Same with the Reavers. The Beastmaster and all of his Beastie Boys.
The Beastie Boys?
The Beastie Boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the Talos is actually part of the Homunculus.
Coven, yep.
Yeah. I remember fighting a formation of these back in 7th edition. The 15 of them that you had to face?
The ton of them, and then there was a Chronos paint engine in the middle healing them all. It's great. So much fun.
7th edition was so much fun.
Let's not get into this. Like, as with, you can now just upgrade somebody in Space Marines to be a chapter master instead of a captain.
You can upgrade these guys.
You can upgrade your usual HQs. So you can have the Kabbalite version, which is Splinter Genius. So you get to fight again. Costs you 15 points. Well, that's not too bad.
Honestly, a 15-point upgrade instead of like the 25-point upgrade. I'm really hoping they nerf the Apothecary and put him up by 100 points.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see.
Not that much, obviously, but still.
The Succubus gets to move faster. It gets to move an additional 3 when it consolidates, so you're consolidating 6 inches. So very easy to tie up extra units in combat.
And I think if, because these can't be given to the named characters.
No, these cannot.
It's kind of like the Keeper of Secret thing and the Space Marine thing where you can upgrade certain things. But one of the coolest things is there are other abilities that let you consolidate even further, which piled on top of that means that you can get right back into combat with your succubuses and protect them.
Yep, and let's see. And you don't have to move closest to the closest enemy model when you consolidate.
Yeah, that's actually huge.
So you don't have to go running into that Imperial Knight who hasn't fought yet.
Yep, you can actually run behind a ruin that's over 6 inches so you can't be shot at.
Run into the middle of a bunch of witches.
Yep.
Let's see. And then the Homunculi... he gets his old relic back as an ability. Homunculi used to have a relic where if they died on a 2+, they could just respawn.
Ooh.
This was a long time ago. But yeah, now on a 2+, after they die at the end of a phase, they get to come back outside of engagement range of an enemy as close as possible to where they die with D3 wounds.
So that's 3 to 4 different characters that have the ability to resurrect themselves at this point. Celestine, any Sister of Battle character, an Imperial Knight, Space Marines, Gilliman more specifically, can just pop back to life.
Yeah.
Oof, that's scary.
And then we get to the favored retinues. So this, keeping with the whole theme they have in this book, because the book is just one theme of, hey, everyone can work together now, but everyone gets their own individual treats and tools. So if you bought just a Cabal army, they're Dark Eldar. Let's not assume that they're getting along.
They're getting along.
Let's assume they're not murdering each other yet.
Oh, that makes sense.
If you want to have fun as a Drukhari player, finish playing a narrative game as them. If you win, awesome. Split the forces in half, and then see which side kills the other.
Oh my god, yes.
All right, so Trueborn, Blood Brides, they are back in a fairly big way. They are now just strict upgrades on a base warrior or witch cult. However,
so it's kind of like the veteran elites, not intercessor veterans.
Yeah, it's kind of like the intercessor veterans.
I said that backwards. Veteran intercessors.
Except for, you must have an HQ of the type of that unit. So if you want called like Trueborn, you have to have an Archon that runs around with them, just on the table. Max size 10 for the Trueborn, and it's 2 points a pop to upgrade them. But their ballistic skill...
That's what, 20 points for the 10 of them?
But they start hitting on 2s.
Ooh.
So Blasterborn. Blasterborn can be brought again, which is always fun. And you ignore any and all hit modifiers and ballistic skill modifiers.
That is so good.
So the new Be'lakor rules that were just previewed, where you take a -1 to shooting at him, Trueborn don't care. So
what about things like transhuman physiology?
That's not a hit roll thing.
Yeah,
so
that's a wound
that's a
roll.
wound roll thing. So you still have to deal with that.
Yeah.
There is an update to how poisons work in this. It's ever so slight, but transhuman physiology also will trump poisons in most cases.
Because it's GW and they can't not have their Space Marines
on top. You can't not have them like that. Blood Brides. So if you're taking Lilith or a Master Succubus, you can increase the weapon skill of a unit up to 2+. You add one to their leadership characteristics. And where is it? It is... Oh yeah, each time you trigger Blade Artists, which is a new rule for your melee units. On a wound roll of 6, your AP goes up by 1.
I like how the building is shaking right now. That's why the camera's shaking. Sorry, that just...
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
If we die horribly, it was her fault.
Earthquake.
Okay, so as I was saying, every time you roll a 6 to wound, your AP normally goes up by 1.
Okay.
The Blood Brides, their AP will go up by 3. So you can
So they become Marine killers.
You can very quickly get them up to AP -4 on a unit. Focus up.
We're totally focused. This is a professional review.
Utterly professional.
Sorry, we just had a really funny moment in the store.
All right, moving on.
Our customer base is amazing.
Yeah, they are. We love you guys.
We do.
So, moving on to what everyone is here for. Ta-da! Real space raids.
So again, as we said before, Real Space Raid is done with 3 patrol detachments, and all of them cost 0 command points.
Yep, as long as all you're taking is patrol detachments.
Which means you have 12 command points to mess around with.
You have 11.
11?
Because you have to make the Archon the Master Archon.
Right.
But that's still really good. Like, that's solid. You're playing Drukhari, your stratagems are kind of where you live or die.
Yeah.
The new book has this absolutely adorable flowchart that I love, and I wish that it was in more books when it comes to these specialized detachments, because that just makes it so clear how these things are meant to be structured.
Yeah, like how does the Daunted Throne detachment for Genestealer cult work? Honestly, I don't actually remember.
It's Revolution. I think it's Revolution. You yell Revolution and you throw the table over.
Sounds fair.
It's the ultimate uprising.
Subterranean uprising.
Subterranean uprising. But
Most
yeah.
broken formation in the game.
Moving on. Stratagems. There's a few. There's a few.
There's a few that stand out.
There's a few that stand out. I personally really like some of these ones. Like, so you get your typical ones for requisition. So
yeah, like getting extra relics and things of that
extra warlord traits, all that fun stuff. The Alliance of Agony is the one where your warlord is a real space raid archon. Then you get to pick the succubus and the homunculus who are also in there.
Yep, and you get the warlords as well.
The warlords. Yeah. So
yeah, it actually reminds me of the Tyranid one where the Magus, the Primus, and the Patriarch all get it.
Yep. Alliance of Agony.
Yep.
So the big thing to remember is that you have to take different warlord traits on all of the characters, but the succubus and the homunculus never count for your warlord other than for taking warlord traits. So if your opponent goes for like
slay the
warlord, assassination, they don't get points for killing the succubi or the homunculus.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, but you know, it's always nice to know for sure.
It also is a lot of things to keep track of.
It is, because that's a lot of different auras, a lot of different extra abilities everybody has.
You're going to need some index cards with these rules on them, or some type of app that has all of these on there.
Data cards.
I highly recommend the...
Data cards?
No, let's go with the data cards.
Data cards.
That's way better.
So this is something that I do, and folks may want to pick this up. Just write a list and write down different phases in a turn. And then every time you come across an ability, just annotate the ability and what page number it's on, so that you can just refer to the book real quick if you don't remember. That's also means a really good idea. You don't miss all of your triggers.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
What is it? When I have a large unit count army at this point, I actually put like little beads next to each unit that actually did stuff.
Yeah.
And then I take them away during the shooting phase to mark which one shot.
See, I just forget that my warlord trait even exists.
Yeah, see, that makes it easy.
Yeah.
Like, I forget faith. I forget my faith dice until like the last second, and then I remember, and I'm just like, critical moment. Boom. Get them.
That is how it is. Okay, and then you've got all your other like standard ones. There is one that I like always pointing out to people because I feel like it kind of gets forgotten sometimes. Webway Portal. It's Drukhari infantry, biker, or beast.
Oh, the deep striking one.
Yep, this is the deep striking one. For 1 CP, you get to do it to 1 unit. For 3 CP, you get to do it to 2.
It's honestly, it's actually really good if you drop in a bunch of these guys.
Yeah.
It's not infantry, is it?
Infantry, biker, or beast.
Oh, you can have some fun with a squad of these.
No, you can't.
Oh, damn it, never mind.
They're monsters.
My hopes and dreams are gone.
However, what does mean, though, is that you can drop, like, Claude Fiends and Kimray in on a bunch of people.
Yes, because what I want to do to my opponent is throw a bunch of burbs at them.
I mean, yeah, why not? Why not? Granted, they're swarm, and so they can't do anything with objectives, but...
Yeah, nor deploy anything. Actually, no, that's really good for deploy scramblers.
They're a swarm.
No, not the...
You must be infantry.
Not the burbs.
Oh, yeah?
Just deep striking, spending 3 CP to deep strike...
oh, yeah, just like a unit of 5 racks in the back. Just hide them. Yeah.
No, that's really good. That's 3 command points for 15 extra points at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's like taking 2
And
victors.
maybe you make it the hemocytes. And so now, like, they're reducing damage, and they've got a better save. So.
Ooh, can the Scourges deep strike?
Scourges can deep strike already.
Okay, but if they do the action, they can't shoot.
Yeah.
So you want to... Oh my god, you could do it with Mandrakes.
Yeah, you could... Well, Mandrakes also already deep strike.
Yeah. Oh, Mandrakes have a purpose.
There's lots of ways to do it. I just love that it fills it all out, because also now the bikes are included.
Ooh.
So you can bring in your Reaper bikes, and they can take a blaster.
Okay.
So you can have like an anti-tank gun just pop up somewhere without having to worry about your opponent shooting them off the table.
But then if you're deploying scramblers, you can't shoot, but still.
Yeah. All right, chapter approved rules. So here are all of your like special secondary objectives that you can choose from. Take them alive is pretty good. So you score 3
these exist too.
for 3 victory points each. If you take a character or monster and destroy it with a Drukhari melee attack.
Okay, so that does count the monsters and everything that can attack.
Oh no, that's anything in your army, which is Drukhari, if it kills a monster or character. 3 victory points.
Since you get such good speed, killing characters actually isn't bad.
It's not hard to do. It is 1 set of 3 victory points every round, regardless of how many you kill. But if you're killing 1 monster on turn 1, 1 monster on turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, all right, you're at 15. And you have a whole nother turn where you could have just like flubbed the rolls or whatever.
All right.
It is specifically melee. However, there is also another one. So if it is not a monster, character, or vehicle, you get 1 victory point.
So you still get victory points no matter what?
Yeah, you still get victory points no matter what.
So long as you Falcon Punch something.
Yeah, so you can get, what is that, 4 a round? So if you kill a monster and then you kill a unit of infantry. You said, let's continue recording.
Yes, that's what continued recording means.
I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay, so Beast for the Arena. This one's the end of game objective. This is just Witch Cult units. Kill something in melee. That is a monster, cavalry, beast. You get 3 points for each unit they kill.
So that seems fair enough.
There is some ambiguity in how it's worded, because it just says destroyed in melee by a Witch Cult unit. So are you counting 1 unit's kills throughout the game, or are you counting every Witch Cult unit's kills? I'm inclined to say the latter, but there's always ambiguity.
That's what it sounds like it's supposed to mean.
Yeah, so always just talk with your opponent, because that's the only way you can...
Or wait until an FAQ.
Or wait till the FAQ. But that's the only way you can get it up to 15 points, because there's no way 1 unit of witches is killing like a monster, a beast, or a cavalry unit over 5 turns. Like, I don't even think Lilith can do that consistently.
No.
So, let's see.
I still can't believe your brain made her put on pants. Can't have Lilith around Gilliman, though.
Anyways, well, now you can't have Lilith around Yvonne. So maybe that's why they're fighting.
That is probably why they're fighting. That's definitely why they're fighting.
It was the pants. As with many, like, girl best friend relationships, it all comes down to who borrowed whose clothes. Those are Yvonne's pants. Lilith stole Yvonne's pants?
I can't actually say that because I borrowed clothes from both Mindy and Taylor.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should talk to her. You messed up.
Wait, how did I mess up?
Nothing. She's not disappointed, I swear.
I'm right? Anyway,
You're
back
good.
to this.
Anyways, so progressive objectives for the fear and terror. Progressive objectives.
Okay.
You know, gun control, universal healthcare.
I like how you say that while carrying the gun.
Anyways, so for no mercy, no respite, you can take the fear and terror objective. It's 1 point at the end of the battle round for each model that fled from an enemy unit during that battle round.
Each model?
At the end of the battle round for each model that fled from an enemy unit during that battle round.
So that could actually...
Point per model, but you cap at 15.
That's actually really good.
That's really scary against someone like
Imperial Guard.
Imperial Guard. Like, if you can snipe out that Commissar, that conscript squad is now... That looks like a juicy amount of victory points for you.
Yeah. Space.
Okay, and then the last one is Herd the Prey. Score 2 victory points at the end of your turn for each table quarter that doesn't have any enemy units in it, excluding aircraft.
Good luck with that one.
You can't score it in the first battle round either.
Who would have guessed?
So that's one of those, if you're already winning, you're just going to win harder objectives. So
Kind of like domination.
Kind of like domination, a lot like grind them down, where it's just like, yeah, no, I'm already killing more of yours than you're killing of mine.
Or attrition.
Or attrition, yeah.
I love taking attrition. It's so easy to remember.
And let's see, we got some Warlord traits. Most of them are fairly like standard stuff, but it is worth noting that each type of unit only gets 3 Warlord traits.
Okay, so Witch Cult, Cabal, and Homunculus only get 3.
Yep, they only get 3 each, but if you're taking the real space raid,
you get 1 of each.
You get 1 of each on 3 different characters, and only the Archon matters for killing the Warlord. So there's that.
And the Archon actually boosts everybody and gets an aura ability that actually lets everybody next to him reroll once.
All core units.
Core units,
Core units reroll once. So, Cabal Warlord traits. Here's probably the best one. Hatred Eternal.
Isn't that a Cast Space Marine one?
I think that's Eternal Hatred, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah.
Each time this Warlord makes an attack, you can re-roll the hit roll and the wound roll.
Okay.
Drazar has that as his baseline Warlord trait.
Makes sense.
So, like, re-rolling hits and wounds on something like the Jin Blade, and it doesn't say melee. So, if you have a blaster on your Archon, this is pretty solid.
Yeah.
Other ones are things like Soul Thirst, add 1 to the attacks for the Warlord, and then once per turn, regain 1 lost wound when an enemy model dies within 6.
That's pretty good, considering.
It's pretty handy. And then there's Ancient Evil. At the start of the fight phase, pick an enemy within engagement range. That unit cannot fight until everyone else has fought.
Oof. Bye, Slanesh.
Yeah, so... And that is a not eligible to fight this phase, not fights last. So that would supersede that. Witches, +2 attacks, is their baseline one.
That's good.
Stim Addict is another one. They get to roll 2 additional dice for combat drugs. So you can realistically get all the drugs you need. You reroll results of 6, though, because that's already in effect.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So, and yeah, you get all the benefits for combat drugs that you roll. And you're re-rolling duplicates, so you'll consistently get like 3 different types of combat drug.
Nice.
And then you've got Precision Blows. Each time an unmodified hit roll of 6 is made, the target unit suffers a number of mortal wounds equal to the damage of the attack made.
Ooh.
Okay.
So last up we have the Homunculus.
Last up, the Homunculus. So
all I can think about is that moment when Roy Mustang just burned Envy to death.
that was a really bad time for Homunculus.
Yeah.
It's real sad.
That's what my psyker is going to use with Pyromancy. Just.
I mean, they'll have to, because the very first one that you get is Master Regenerist, which is whenever they use their healing ability, they heal a flat 3 instead of D3.
Okay.
So take that on a homunculi with the relic that lets him respawn with D3 wounds.
So he just gets back. Well, they get back up and have like a ton of wounds.
Yeah. Master Nemesine. So each time you make an attack, add 1 to the wound roll.
All right, that's pretty good.
Handy. And then Master Arson is add 1 to the toughness and wound characteristics of this warlord.
Isn't he only toughness 3?
I believe he has toughness 4, so that'd bump him to 5 with like 6 wounds.
All right, that's pretty decent actually.
I don't know. Relics. There's so many. Don't need to go over all of them. There is only one that I'd want to point out, and it's the Nightmare Doll. They tease in the Warhammer community thing, so if we're talking about making a very hard to kill warlord, the warlord trait on a homunculus that says, hey, like I heal max every time, and then I have a 4-up feel no pain.
Yeah.
Like, to put the Nightmare Doll on that, give him his little bodyguard unit of the Hemocytes who now can reduce damage incoming.
That's so brutal.
Really hard to kill. And then we've got Crusade rules. All the Crusade rules, which we will use one day.
I can't wait until we can actually play Crusade.
I know. We're getting there. We're slowly getting there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're on to the dash sheets, which is all of the abilities. The big one to remember is the change to poison. Poison is now unmodified rolls. So, yeah, unmodified roll must equal the value, so no longer modifying the roll. So the Homunculi Warlord trait that gives +1 doesn't change how often his poisons trigger.
Okay.
So there's that. Blade Artists. On an unmodified wound roll of 6, an additional 1 AP. Yeah, insensible to pain. That's the homunculi feel no pain roll. It happens on a 5-up.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, and then you've got the whole power from pain, which is all Drukhari or unaligned units. So if you have the Blackstone Fortress Super Spiders,
Yeah.
they would also benefit from this. Getting a 5-up feel no pain on turn 1, charging and advancing on turn 2,
Zotes.
extra attacks, a 5-up invuln save instead of a 6-up on turn 4, and then you will automatically pass morale on turn 5 and up. So it's like,
at that point, you already lost your units that will die to morale.
yeah, I don't know.
Odd.
It's weird. Okay, combat drugs, you have 6 choices. Like, go fast, get hit harder,
Okay.
hit a little stronger, hit a little more consistently, or shoot a little more consistently. Yeah, so there's that. And that's all that you have to know about that. And then we're into the actual data sheets. Pretty much everyone who fights in melee got the Blade Artist rule.
Yep.
So your 6 is to wound, 1 additional
Explodes.
AP, get used to it.
Oh no, they don't explode. Sorry.
Yeah, Archons. Archons flat out have the Shadow Field down. So it's
Which
still,
one is the Shadow Field?
it's the 2-up invuln save that can never be
Right.
rerolled.
That stupid thing where you have to shoot them with like 1,000 bolters to get rid of it.
Or just 1 bad shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Oh, Homunculus with that Warlord trait. He starts at T4. He'd go up to T5.
Okay.
And goes from 6 wounds to 7. So he's got that. And then at the end of the movement phase, he can heal somebody, including himself.
All right.
Everyone's got their own little auras and everything.
I think we saw both Lilith and Drazar on the Warhammer community at this point.
I know we've seen Lilith. I'm pretty sure we saw Drazar, but Drazar's update also went on to the standard Incubi. So they have a little bit more attacks. They also have better weapons. Their AP is just a flat -3 across the board.
There we go.
Ready, steady.
Okay,
Good.
so moving on from Lilith and Drazar.
Yep, Drazar, Eternal Warrior.
I always think of dressing when I think of him, like ranch dressing.
I think of how he was in older editions when you would cue the Dragon Ball Z fight music,
Oh, okay.
and then he would just teleport around and kill things.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Let's see, Urian Rakarth, mostly unchanged.
Yeah, also, I don't even know who that is.
Named Homunculus.
So, when going over the stats for the Drukhari, I'm going to keep calling them Drukharis.
You good?
Yes, I'm good, I promise.
All right.
Some of the big things is a lot of their weapons went up to 2 damage or D3 damage. Actually, I think it's just 2 damage.
2 damage for things like the Splitter Cannon went up to 2 damage. They got like a flat 1 AP.
And then there's a phone call.
The things you have to edit out because of me.
You know, most of the stuff I'm keeping in here, right?
That's why I don't watch the videos anymore.
What? Why?
No, of course I watch them. I just hate the sound of my own voice. I just put it on mute and see what YouTube does with the closed captioning.
Okay, that is actually hilarious.
Real weird. Anyways, Warriors. They got the Blade Artist rule. Yay.
I'm also surprised they stayed on the 25 mils.
I'm honestly not surprised. I don't think we're going to see the 25 millimeters go anywhere.
I really thought they were going to go up to 28.
Yeah, I think that we'll see like standard human-sized individuals staying on 25s for quite some time.
I still hate that.
Yeah, well, they make them for all the different games, so I don't see a reason why it would go away.
28 mil is better. But that's just me.
Okay, witches. So, things to remember. You still get a power sword as an option on a witch, right?
Yeah.
So if it's a blood bride, and it rolls a 6 on wound, it's AP -6. You know, if you feel like being weird.
I got him.
That's true with the agonizer too, the poison weapon. So, you know, if you really want to make sure that they're stuck on invuln saves, blood brides and witches, that's the way to do it.
Okay then.
Racks, they mostly stayed the same. Like,
I still love that Rax just look straight up out of like what's the guy, the Pinhead series? Hellraiser.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Very, very so bright. Ooh, Court of the Archon. So these guys got a lot of changes.
Okay.
So Court of the Archon is your Archon's bodyguard unit from
It
previous
has the
editions.
snack.
It does have the Sneck. It has the Slith.
Slith.
Has a Slith, has a little man, has the Medusa, who's the psychic eyeball person.
Why is the Medusa not the snake?
Because Slith.
That's dumb. The other one should be called the Slith.
So the Slith used to be toughness 5.
Yeah.
They're now toughness 3. Yeah. They're 3 wounds apiece. They've got 3 attacks. They were the ones who honestly got hit with the biggest change, in addition to how the whole unit functions. So now the unit, I'd show the camera, but you won't be able to see it. You have 0 to 4 options.
Okay.
So you can take 0 to 4 Lamians, Medusae, Slith, or Urgles. But you must have a minimum 4 models in the unit.
Okay, so you can mix and match them.
So you can mix and match, which means that the rules actually stack with each other. So if you want to have an entire unit that just has the Lamian who gives poison to the unit, and you want to take the Slith, because the Slith have a special rule where they can always count as bodyguards for Archons.
Okay.
Yeah, cold-blooded bodyguard. As long as a Slith model is within 3 of an Archon, the Archon cannot be targeted. So it's not unit of 3 or vehicle with more than 10 wounds. If one Slith is next to the Archon, you can't shoot the Archon.
Oh, that's so dirty because you can hide them behind a wall where they can't be seen. So you can't target them and then just be like, haha, my Archon is safe.
Yeah, because it says nothing about being visible.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that is dirty.
That's
like,
real dirty. They do take up an elite slot to do that trick.
Who cares?
But you take the Lamian, you take the Slith, and then just take a bunch of Urgles because they're the cheapest body that goes into the unit.
Yeah.
And you have a unit that can't really do a whole lot of shooting because the Urgles don't have a gun. But you have like cheap ablative wounds for your everyone gets poison near me, or their poison gets slightly better near me.
So you have to take 4 models.
You have to take 4.
I honestly think I would do 1 Lamia and then 3 freaking Slith.
Yeah, but the Slith are like they're pricey for what you pay, and we'll show that in a minute.
Or you just take 1 so you can't target them, and then you just take
1
2
Slith,
of the
1 Lamian, then 2 Urgles.
Urgles.
Done.
Yeah, and
Call
then,
it a day.
And then you just don't care as you hide them behind something, and you're just like, no,
All
no
right.
target.
Deal 6 wounds. Cool, you killed the 2 Urgles. All right, deal 3 more. Cool, you killed the Lamian.
Well,
all right,
like,
deal
you
3
can
more. You
keep
killed
them-
the Slith.
So what I'm thinking is, so you have a building, okay,
Mm-hmm.
You have your dude, your Archon out here being all Archon-y, telling everybody to do good, whatever. And they
With
go
the
to
2 up
target
safe.
him. They can't shoot him because there's a Sneck nearby, but the Sneck can't be shot at because it's out of line of sight, meaning that Archon is immortal.
That is gonna get FAQ'd.
That better.
All right, but yeah, that's the core of the Archon.
Now, is it just targeted for shooting attacks?
No, yeah, it's range attacks. Yeah,
Okay.
models cannot target the Archon unit with ranged attacks. So if you get into melee with an Archon, cool. But now you're in melee with an Archon. So he's throwing out like
Unless you're a Space Marine, good luck.
unless you're throwing out like your 5 attacks or something. The Archon has a 2-up invuln save unless he lost it already. He probably has the Agonizer, so he's
Decent.
He's decent. But that's neither here nor there.
And he probably has a relic.
More than likely has a relic. He definitely has a Warlord trait.
Yeah.
Okay, Incubi. They're the next unit that comes up. They start with 3 attacks base now. So all Incubi are 3 attacks. The Clavex is 4. The Clave can be replaced by the Demiclave, which is the exact same as Drazar's. And that's only on the unit leader. So the Clavex can become a miniature Drazar.
Okay. All right.
They all get the wonderful Blade Artist, so additional 1 AP. So your
Puts them at AP minus 3. For
minus
the...
4. Minus 4 for all your guys on 6s.
Okay.
And they're flat damage 2.
So they're Marine killers.
They're Marine killers. They're hanging at strength 5 at flat damage 2
See,
with a
I
minus
knew
3 to
that
4.
this was going to be a problem. The second that they upped baby Marines to 2 wounds, it's just like, the new damage is just going to be 2. Good luck, everybody.
Well, here's the whole other thing, too, is lethal precision is another rule that Incubi get. So they get minus 1 AP on unmodified wound rolls of 6. They also get 1 additional damage on unmodified wound rolls of 6. So if you roll a 6 on an Incubi, yeah, it wounds. Like, it wounds anything because it's a 6. It also is now AP -4 and flat damage 3.
Ow.
And that's 3 attacks per incubi, 4 on the Clavex. If the Clavex is using his little dual blades, he gets 6 attacks. And on 6s, he'd be strength 4, -3, flat damage 3.
That sounds...
So it's a little crazy. And then, what is this? Oh yeah, the Tormentors. So at the start of the fight phase, you can pick an enemy unit with an engagement range, roll 2d6. If you beat their leadership, right? Okay.
The average leadership right now is 7.
Then that unit is not eligible to fight until all of your units have fought. So the same thing that we saw as a trait earlier, the Incubi have it just baseline, but it is contingent on a roll of 2d6.
Well, that's actually pretty decent though, because you can hit like a unit that... Can you hit a unit that charged you?
Yeah, it's just within engagement range.
Oh, that's so nasty.
Yeah,
you can hit a Space Marine captain
before he gets to attack. Yep.
Oh, and you can just chop him down.
And it makes you not eligible to fight until all eligible units from your army have done so.
Oh,
so
that's nasty.
If you have multiple instances of Incubi running around and you have the trait that does it, you can negate a lot of units from your enemy's army fighting until you are done activating everybody.
Another use for the slit, they can be one of the things that drops the deploy scramblers. I just thought of that. They can drop it in your deployment zone.
They can drop in your deployment zone, and you can drop them out of the Webway Portal because they're infantry.
Well, I was thinking mandrakes for the other ones.
Mandrakes are pretty solid, and they have also gotten a little bit of a facelift. They are still strength 4, toughness 3, 1 wound.
Yep.
But they do get their 5-up save. They do have a fade away ability, so once per battle they can just leave.
I'm just thinking that one skit from what is it? Viva La Dirt, where it's just like fade away and he teleports and kills the guy again, and the guy's just like, I just want to finish. Keeps stabbing him.
Yeah, but you leave at the start and then you come back at the end, and it's more than 9 inches from any enemy models.
So you could deploy scramblers and then next turn just disappear.
Yeah, pretty easily. And during deployment, you can also set them up so that they just drop in.
So you'd have to put them on the field, then deploy them out, and then drop them in turn 2.
Well, that's just it. They're from the shadows.
Yeah.
Is during deployment. You may set up anywhere more than 9 from an enemy.
Oh.
So they can just deploy when you're alternating deployments back and forth. Just deploy one on the other side. You just have to be more than 9 from the enemy's deployment zone and any enemy models.
All right.
I'm not going to give you the chance to record my face.
He doesn't have a face. Also, product placement. We have 1 sterling in stock.
You can't afford me.
Anyway.
All right.
Back to this.
So
I was saying that their combat weapons remind me of Tyranid scythes with the specialist attachments that you can get, where you can get warriors up to AP -3 with their scything talons.
Yep. Yeah, so that's just a base thing, but again, it's 1 unit for each.
And you could do that for each of them, can't you?
As long as you keep bringing succubuses and Lilith. Because you must bring a succubus to do it to 1 unit.
Oh, well, what I mean is in a real-world raid detachment, you take each of them and you upgrade one of each of their peoples.
Yes.
Ooh, that's actually really neat.
Yeah, because everyone's bringing their own patrol, so yeah, you could totally do it. They're supposed to represent the elite bodyguards that you bring with you because you don't trust the other Drukhari.
I mean, in all fairness, you probably don't trust your elite bodyguards either.
Well, I mean, now we get to the elite bodyguards you might be able to trust. What is it? Hemocytes?
That sounds like a trustworthy name.
Yeah, why not? But the big thing is they're homunculi wannabes. They are the Racks who are almost homunculi themselves. So their whole thing, their save goes up by 1.
So what does that make their save, a 2+?
It's a Rack, so it's a save characteristic. So I think it's a 5+.
Ugh.
So they go from a 6-up to a 5-up, but if they have cover, it's a 4-up. And they're Racks, so they have their little feel no pain. It makes them more durable.
I guess.
But here's the big thing. Once per phase, the first time a saving throw is failed for that unit, the damage characteristic of that attack is changed to 0.
Huh.
So you shoot a las cannon at these guys, and it's the first attack you did. All right. That's a 0.
So if you shoot a battle cannon at them...
the first save is, if they fail it, damage becomes 0. So you just have to be smart. You have to shoot a lasgun first, shoot a heavy bolter first, like something to burn away that ability.
Ooh, this could actually be really useful.
Who knows? Like if you're running them against Titans, it could get real obnoxious.
Yeah.
But yeah, across the board, it's 2 points per model to give all of those upgrades out.
So you're looking at 60 points in upgrades.
Yeah.
If each squad is 10.
Yeah, for the real space.
Yeah.
And even then, it's just maximum 10. You could do minimum squads of 5. So, like, minimum squad of 5 Trueborn, everyone has a blaster or everyone has a dark lance.
Yeah.
Rock out. Okay, then we have all of the Cabals and the Covens and everything.
Ooh, the 2+ ballistic seal affects them when they're in the raider, right?
Yeah. They would still have that as they're rolling around with their guns.
Okay.
So, blasters and shredders. Have fun.
Also, we got to get to the fact that the Raider and the Venom changed.
Yes, we do. We do.
The
There have been a lot of like small profile updates in this book.
These things actually got really good.
Let's see. So, this is Drukhari Cabals, Cults, and Covens. Guess what? It is the same page that's in every book that talks about sub-factions.
Yep. So we're not really going to go over that much.
Probably not going to hit on all of the different Cabals and everything because there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus a whole page of spares just for the Cabals.
Yeah, but did you have to hit him in the butt? Ha! I made this awkward.
Yeah, no, you did. Okay. Yeah, that's like pretty much for the big changes. That's what everyone ended up with. Scourges got their update into 9th edition, so they have the whole special deployment rule. And I'll be right back.
So there's actually a lot of other changes that I want to talk about. Two of the big ones that I really want to talk about, which is the Raider actually going up to 11 transport capacity now. So you can finally put a full squad plus your character in it, and the Venom going up to 6. So with that means you can have all of your characters darting around and actually getting to where they need to be, instead of slogging them behind your vehicles and hoping for the best. It was always such a nuisance to do that. But overall, that's pretty much all of the changes that we could really find. Aside from some point changes, obviously. A lot of the points did change. A lot of the weapons went up to 2 damage, which is super useful for dealing with Space Marines. And overall, the army is playing more like how it should, in my opinion, where you have the 3 covens working together in order to bring torture and murder to the rest of the galaxy. You know, typical 40k things. But with that all said, I want to know your guys' big takes on this codex. Personally, I think it got phenomenal, and I feel like it's going to be a mid-tier to a high-tier army. I don't think it's going to be low-tier like Orks or Genestealer Cult are right now, Tau are right now. But I feel like this army has a lot of firepower, good close range, and a lot of decent mid-range combat. So it really depends how you actually go to battle and what your list consists of. So tell me in the comments down below what you're most excited about, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank Sterling, even though he's helping a customer right now, but I want to thank Sterling for helping me out with this video. And as always, if you enjoy this content, please make sure you subscribe. Actually, it should be right over here. Also ring that bell, it helps out. Leave a comment, and check out all the links in the description down below. There you can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you're super awesome, you can check out Patreon. Exclusive videos on there. As always, NornQueenAlexis. Love you guys. Bye.